Lab 8 Comparative Anatomy by Gretal Hernandez, Brandon Lai, Jazmine Ramirez, and Dylan Evans. Frog background, habitat, and taxonomy. Habitat. Frogs are amphibious, meaning they can exist both in and out of water. Frogs often inhabit aquatic locations such as lakes, swamps, and ponds. Its taxonomy, the kingdom, Animalia, its phylum, Chordata, its class, Amphibia, and its order, Anura. As you can see in the picture on the right, the frog is in water. Next up, we have the food web. What frogs like to eat are insects, smaller aquatic animals, and some of the large frogs can eat small mammals. The animals that eat frogs are birds, snakes, and some mammals. As you can see, the picture on the right is the food web of the frog, what eats the frog and what the frog eats. The arrows that point towards the frog is what the frog eats, and the arrows that point away from the frog is what preys on them. In this case, the frog is a secondary consumer. Moving on to mating patterns. Frogs reproduce sexually. Frog mating season is generally any time outside of the cold winter. This is dependent on species. Frogs are egg laying and the females carry the eggs. As for the development, frogs undergo metamorphosis from an egg to a tadpole to a froglet and then to a full grown frog.
The digestive system. The frog's digestive system is responsible for consuming and breaking down the nutrients from food. Food is consumed through the mouth and goes from the esophagus to the stomach to the intestines. The liver and pancreas are important organs that aid in digestion. Some important structures of the frog's digestive system are the mouth, the salivary glands, the esophagus, the stomach, the small and large intestines, the liver, the gallbladder, the pancreas, and the sphincter muscles. From the picture on the right, we can see the labeled large and small intestines. The excretory and reproductive systems. The reproductive system of a frog is responsible for reproduction. The male gametes are produced in the testes of male frogs, and the ovaries are in the female frogs. Frogs reproduce sexually, and the females bear and lay the eggs. Some important structures of the excretory and reproductive systems are the kidneys, the ureters, the urinary bladder, the urethra, and the reproductive organs, both male and female. From the picture on the right, we can see the labeled kidney of the frog. The respiratory system. Frogs perform gas exchange through several systems, including the skin, the lungs, and the mouth. Frogs need oxygen like basically other animal. Frogs do not have a diaphragm to assist in expansion of the lungs like humans. Some important structures of the respiratory system include the nasal cavity, the pharynx and larynx, the trachea, the epiglottis, the bronchi, the alveoli, and the diaphragm. And on the picture on the right, we can see the labeled lungs of the frog. The circulatory system. Frogs have a network of arteries, capillaries, and veins that help transport blood throughout the body. Frog blood is composed of plasma, RBCs, WBCs, and platelets. The frog circulatory system is a closed system. Some important structures of the circulatory system are the pulmonary circuit, the systematic circuit, and the heart. On the picture on the right, we can see a labeled heart. The nervous system. The frog's nervous system consists of both a brain with nerves and a spinal cord. The brain and its parts control the movement of muscles. The skeleton also plays a part in the structure of the frog and provides support for the nervous system. Some important structures are the brain, the spinal cord, the cranial and spinal nerves, the skeleton, and the muscles. On the picture on the right, we can see the labeled muscle body of the frog.
Now onto the structures of the rat. In the first image, we can see the rat's liver and small intestine. In the image below that, we can see the heart and the large intestine. In the image next to that, we can see the anus and the stomach. In the image above that, we can see the rat's kidney. In the image next to that, we can see the lungs and the trachea of the rat. And below that, we can see the cecum. Now onto the animal background of the rat. The rat belongs to the Animalia kingdom, the phylum Chordata, the class Mammalia, the order Rodentia, the family Muridae, and the genus Rattus. Rats can be found two species, the Rattus norvegicus, which is the Norway rat, or the Rattus rattus, which is the black rat. Rats are highly adaptable mammals that are found worldwide, and they thrive in a variety of habitats, which include urban, suburban, agricultural, and natural. Though they prefer areas with access to food, water, and shelter, they can be found in human settlements, farms, forests, grasslands, and wetlands. They feed on a wide range of foods, which include grains, fruits, vegetables, insects, small vertebrates, and garbage. Now, where do they fit into the food chain? They occupy various trophic levels in ecosystems, and they serve as both predators and prey. As predators, they consume insects, small mammals, birds, reptiles, and plant material, which plays a crucial role in controlling populations of pests like insects and rodents. Rats are also preyed upon by larger predators such as birds of prey, snakes, carnivorous mammals, and even other rats. In urban environments, rats scavenge on human waste, which contributes to the decomposition of organic matter. Now, what do their mating patterns and behaviors look like? Rats are known for their prolific breeding habits, with rapid reproduction rates contributing to their success as a species. They typically exhibit polygamous mating systems with dominant males mating with multiple females. They are capable of reproducing throughout the year, with females reaching sexual maturity as early as 5 weeks of age. Their mating behavior includes courtship displays, scent marking, vocalizations, and aggressive interactions among males competing for mates. Their gestation period ranges from 21 to 31 days, after which females give birth to litters of multiple pups. Parental care is minimal, with mothers nursing and protecting their offspring until they are weaned, typically around 3 weeks of age. Because rats have a high reproductive potential, their populations rapidly increase under favorable conditions.
Comparing frog with rat. When comparing the dissection and anatomy of a rat to that of a frog, both animals share similarities in their basic anatomical structures, but have notable differences due to their evolutionary paths and ecological niches. For their overall body plan, rats have a mammalian body plan characterized by fur, 4 limbs, a long tail, and internal organs, which are adapted for terrestrial life. On the other hand, frogs have an amphibian body plan with smooth, moist skin, 4 legs specialized for jumping and swimming, and adaptations for both terrestrial and aquatic life stages. For their skeletal system, both rats and frogs have skeletal systems consisting of a skull, vertebral column, ribcage, and limb bones. However, rats have a more robust skeletal structure, reflecting their larger size and terrestrial lifestyle, while frogs have a lighter skeleton adapted for jumping and swimming. For the muscular system, both animals have muscles that enable movement, but the specific muscle arrangements differ. Rats have muscles adapted for running, climbing, and burrowing, while frogs have powerful leg muscles used for jumping and swimming. For the digestive system, rats have a complex digestive system adapted for omnivorous feeding habits, including sharp incisors for gnawing and a specialized stomach for digesting a variety of different foods. On the other hand, frogs have a similar digestive system, but with a short gastrointestinal tract, which is optimized for processing small prey like insects and other invertebrates. When looking at the respiratory system, rats have lungs for breathing air and a diaphragm for ventilation. And frogs have lungs for breathing air as adults, but they also possess moist, high vascularized skin that allows for respiration through their skin, particularly in aquatic environments. For the reproductive system, both rats and frogs have distinct reproductive organs. Rats have internal fertilization and give birth in live young, while frogs typically undergo external fertilization, laying eggs in water that develop into tadpoles. For the nervous system, both animals have well developed nervous systems, including brain and peripheral nerves. Rats have a more complex brain, reflecting their higher cognitive abilities compared to frogs. In summary, while rats and frogs share some basic anatomical features, their specific adaptations reflect their respective lifestyles and ecological roles. Rats are adapted for terrestrial omnivory, while frogs have evolved for both terrestrial and aquatic habitats, with a particular emphasis on jumping and swimming.
These are our reference sources that we use to make these slides. Thank you.